This is Just Keep Breathing with your host, Richard Curtin on Rational Radio.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Can you hear me? I can't hear me either. Huh.
Hello.
Nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble.
I can barely hear myself.
Nothing but trouble.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, there I am.
Rock me like a hurricane.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Just Keep Breathing on RationalBroadcasting.com, Rational Radio. This is called Just Keep Breathing. I'm your host, Richard Curtin. My in-studio guest today, Larry the Fairy.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear me.
I can hear you.
I can hear it. I can't hear anything.
I can barely hear myself, but I can hear you.
It's probably good that I don't hear me. Larry the Fairy, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I am... Ugh. We've had nothing but trouble today.
You know, these things, they happen when I'm around.
No, I think they happen when I'm around. Is that why the two of us together just
so.
cause all kinds of havoc? It's like Lucy and Lucy, not Lucy and Ethel. Who are you?
Lucy.
You're Lucy?
Meh.
Wah! I don't feel like Ethel. And some days I feel like Lucy. Most of the days I feel like Mary Tyler Moore, but I'm really Rhoda. I want to be Mary Tyler Moore. Do you know who Mary Tyler Moore is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, but I'm probably more like Rhoda. I can get dressed by myself. Did you ever see that episode on Rhoda?
Oh, yeah.
She zipped herself up. She was an independent woman.
Mm-hmm.
An independent woman in New York City.
It's my dream.
Do you feel like an independent woman in New York City?
No.
We're both wearing hats for Thanksgiving. It's not Easter. It's Thanksgiving. I bought this yesterday for $7 at the Salvation Army.
Oh.
I know I'm not supposed to go there, but I can buy I can buy stuff there. I'm not going to donate anything there. I'm not going to give them any reason to make money, but I mean, I guess buying this
so why would we give to them?
Buying, and I went to the DAV yesterday, and I went to. Do you ever go thrift store shopping?
Every now and then. Goodwill's really the only place I hit up. Goodwill and some thrift stores.
I went to all of them yesterday. I don't know why. I don't need any crap. I've got enough crap.
Yeah.
I've got enough crap to make crap out of. And so I collect Christmas ornaments.
Okay.
From yesteryear. Actually, a long time ago. I like the ornaments from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And sometimes, the Salvation Armies, the Goodwills, the DAV, there was this other one that was called somebody's mission of the Viejo or blah 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 mission, and it was in Irving.
Okay.
And wow, it was a dump hole. it was like they would get like bags of stuff from people, and then they would just pour them out. And so I walked out. I was like,
treasure hunt.
Wow, this is weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they're going to be in business long.
Yeah, probably not.
And everything was like $1. And there were, 40 women digging through it all.
Oh.
It was very weird.
Yeah.
There were no Marys and there were no Rhodas. They were all Marias.
Oh, jeez.
It was very weird. It was very strange. But it had a great big sign that lit up because it was getting dark when I got there. It's just odd. What are the oddest things that you do? And I want to talk about. Let's talk about first. How and why are you Larry the Fairy?
The name came about when I was probably 15, 16. I got my first job working at Sonic, and everyone started.
Good old Sonic. Where were you?
It was in Allen.
Allen.
Yeah, that's where I graduated. But it was in Allen, and I wasn't even openly gay back then. But at the time, I had told my coworkers and one or two friends. And so at work, they all started calling me Fairy Larry, and that was my name for the longest. And then I don't know, it just turned into Larry the Fairy, and Now no one even knows my real name. I'm just Larry the Fairy. And I like that. They
And
can't
so you
search
have
for me.
LTF Productions, and so you're a
LTF
photographer. You do all this. You do all this party promoting, and so is it Larry the Fairy Productions?
Me and my best friend co-own it together.
What? Who's your best friend?
Her name's Rita.
Rita. Do I know Rita?
Probably not recently. She used to come out with me all the time and loved you, but that was back in like 2004. Now she's getting married and is a school teacher, and I never see her too much anymore.
So is she still part of Larry the Fairy Productions?
She's mainly the photographer at the end of it. I do the video.
Well, all right.
Switch one.
More testicle difficulties.
Hello.
Much better.
Is that better?
That's much
Okay,
better.
good. So the guest should always have the good mic?
Yes, this view.
Because I hold it. I generally hold it. I like to put it in the palm of my hand.
You just like it close to your mouth.
And cradle it. I'm just a professional.
Hey, these things, they happen.
And that is a better mic. It happened over here by accident. See, I like the shaft lower here, and then the microphone
Tickle the
head up
bottom and
here.
hold the top.
That's it. What kind of response do you get from people when you present something from Larry the Fairy Productions? Has it changed over the years?
It's definitely gotten better now that a little more people know who Larry the Fairy is. Before, we just did straight weddings, and that was basically it. And no one even asked what what LTF meant, because it just says LTF Productions. And it just we just did a lot. I've probably done about 20 weddings total, and I do the video. She would do the photography. But now we've kind of expanded. Just going out taking pictures of random people. Now people want me to do photo shoots of them in drag and that kind of thing. And so the response has gotten much greater.
How do you feel doing straight weddings when you were denied the pleasure?
They're paying me, so I feel great. As long as I'm getting a paycheck, that's all that matters to me.
And do you think that kind of I don't know, we'll call it networking, helps?
To some extent, because this person will say, "Oh, who did your wedding video?" And then they'll give them my number, and it's just kind of free marketing.
And do they say LTF Productions?
Mhm.
Oh, I worked with Larry. Do they say Larry?
Yeah, they know me as
With
Larry, but they
LTF?
don't know.
They don't
I have
know
a whole
Larry the
fake
Fairy.
name that goes with LTF.
What
Larry
is-
Theo Ferris.
Theo Ferris.
Yes,
That's hysterical.
that's what my fake ID said when I was 19. So we've kept it.
Larry Theo Ferris.
Because it still sounded like Larry the Fairy. It was my clever way of getting around it.
Theo
Mhm.
Ferris.
Huxtable.
I think that's kind of funny. Do you feel like that's an alter ego for you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Does Larry Theo Ferris act differently than Larry the Fairy?
Not really.
What about Larry from Allen?
Definitely. When I go back home, my family knows I'm gay for the most part, and but when I'm in a room full of straight people, Larry's very different.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, I'm just very different when I'm around straight people. I'm like, hey, what's going on?
Oh, you are totally
Yeah.
different. People
Yeah.
aren't describing you as different.
No, I mean my friends joke about it all the time. They say
So-
that I put on a great straight voice when I'm in a room full of straight men.
So you do kind of act
Mhm.
a little straight.
Yeah, it's very awkward when I do it. Like a straight girl will come up and say hi to me, and I'm like,
Hey man,
hey
what's up?
man, what's up?
How
And
are
they know
you?
I'm gay, so they'll come to give me a hug or something, and I'm like, this is
I like
awkward.
doing that in the bar. When like Crystal introduces me to her current boyfriend. I'll be like, hey man, what's up?
He's
You
like,
good?
hey, what's up?
Hey man, what's
Yeah.
up? And Crystal's always really kind of taken back by it because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Because I'm gayer than probably the two of us combined. At
I'm pretty
times.
gay myself.
And I celebrate it.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like I have to tone anything down.
Yeah.
And speaking of, I got a message this morning from someone who watched my RuPaul video, and he gave me this really long critique on why I didn't get in, and I laughed out loud because I thought it was so funny that he thought that I needed to tone it down.
What? Has he
And-
ever watched an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race?
And and if anything, I thought I needed to really kind of tone it up. I'm really proud of that video. And
yeah,
really
that
proud
video
of the
was
audition
awesome.
tape.
The editing and everything was awesome.
Thank you. And this guy's take on it was just so. It was so different than anything I had gotten before. However, he's in the film industry and in the television industry, and I found it very strange. He thought that the editing needed improvement. He thought that I needed to tone it down, and I should pull it up to actually rate it. And he said, and so when you do it again, I think you'll get in if you take this advice.
And you are?
And I thought that
Wow.
was really strange because I am going to audition again.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Why
I
not?
have nothing to lose, really. I was really going to do it totally different.
Yeah.
And or I'm going to do it totally different. But I'm not going to take his advice.
Yeah. Why would you tone it down? Then you just be like, hi, you should pick me.
Yeah, sorry.
Womp womp.
I'm not going to be drama at all. And you know what? I'm not going to be drama, but,
I mean, when the producers ask you to be.
it's all about direction, and I know that all of these people are being directed.
Yeah.
And one of the funniest things that someone ever told me, one of the former contestants said that he asked if he could take a smoke break, and they said, we're still filming, and they said, well, if you go in there and rip off her wig and tell her that she needed to, clean it, wash it, do something with it, throw it on the ground, you can get a smoke break. And she said, okay, I'll be right back. And she went back in, ripped the girl's wig off, told her it needed some water, and then looked into the camera and said, can I get a smoke break now? And she got one. So it really, and that was really the cincher for me, that they're really looking for people that can be directed. And what do you think that they're looking for? Have you seen the new cast?
I have seen the new cast. I would say this year is some of the best looking that they've had. Usually they have a good mix, of like the real fishy queens and some campy queens and, that, and the other. This year I feel like they only picked, the fishiest of fishy queens. That's my opinion about this year. I don't know if that's the direction they were going for on purpose, but I really didn't spot out too. I mean, there's a couple of campy names in the cast.
Oh, well, I think there's a ton of campy names.
Oh, yeah.
Penetration.
Yeah,
And I think she's
Detoxicant.
the Toxicant, Alaska Thunderfuck.
Yeah.
I mean, how are they going to, like,
Yeah. They're
how are
just
they
going to have to
gonna
bleep every
talk
time they
to
say their
these
name.
people?
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not quite
because
sure.
don't they bleep it when she says, don't bleep it up?
Yeah,
They bleep it, don't they? Are you a fan of the show?
I am a fan. I've seen every season.
Really?
Mhm.
What do you like about it?
There's things I love about it, and there's things I also don't like about it. But I don't know. I guess just seeing, normally they take queens that not too many, they aren't known around, the country, and then they give them that platform, kind of like American Idol, to go out there and make a name for themselves. And now they're on TV shows and they're doing commercials, for Absolute, and they get to go on, a nationwide tour. And that's what I love about it, because it gives people who don't already normally have that platform to go make a name for themselves. The thing I don't like about it is sometimes I feel like they just focus on all the negative stereotypes of drag and, play that out for the whole world to see. And so now most people who don't know any drag queens personally are going to think every drag queen in the world is just like that. That's what I dislike about it.
This horrible, evil, drama-filled,
mean,
catty,
Backstabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's just reality television?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
but especially on Logo, you would think them as the gay station, they wouldn't try to make all the gays look so horrible. But to me, it's like every show they've had, A-List and the rest, they just focus in on all the horrible, horrible parts of the
and
gay
they really
community.
have. I mean, did
And
you
that's all
watch
they do.
A-List?
I did. Just because, not for any particular reason. Just anytime anything's from Dallas, I always like to watch it and see where they go and all that, what they show of Dallas.
I watched Most Eligible, and
That's one I didn't get into.
and I thought it was horrible too. But
Yeah.
one of the girls from that show is getting a spin-off, and her name is Courtney, and the show is called Courtney Does Dallas,
Oh.
and I think it starts airing in January. And she seems really nice. She seems like she's lost a lot of weight and gotten really thin. But, I think that's a requirement. When you were doing your reality television show,
The Dallas Life.
The Dallas Life,
The Dallas Fell.
was it required that you be mean, nasty, catty?
I would say 100% no, because I mean, really, they didn't really put anything extra. I was actually cast to be the fun-loving guy in the house that everybody gets along with, kind of almost like the house mother, because I was one of the oldest people in the cast. And then, I
And you're
started.
how old?
I'm 28.
28. The
At the
oldest
time, I was
cast member.
27. There was one older. He was 30, I believe. But I was, the oldest gay guy in the house. The rest of the gay guys, were 18, 19, that kind of thing. But
I didn't know very many of the people in that
Yeah.
Dallas life.
I mean, I didn't beforehand, but I'm glad I got to meet a lot of them. That's one of the only things I really am glad from that experience. But once I started, I was not myself. That's one thing I'm kind of glad it never aired, because I was not myself. I'm the fun-loving, get along with everybody, yada yada yada. But they fed us unlimited alcohol and unlimited energy drinks, and we didn't have a lot of food. And the AC was turned up to 85 in the middle of August in Texas, so we were all sweaty, hot, blackout drunk, miserable. I was fighting people, kicking doors open. I was not myself. So they never directed me to be that way, but with the unlimited alcohol they supplied us, it definitely didn't help me to not be that way.
And did you feel that, with the knowledge you have of reality television, did you feel like that you had to be that way because reality
I did whatever
television?
I could to get the most camera time, and
Yeah.
that's the honest to God truth. I would even go tell the cameraman, "Hey, get your camera ready, because I'm about to yell at this person," and he'd be like, "Oh, okay." And then I'd be like, "Come down here and clean up your dishes. I'm not your fucking mother." Yeah. And so I went from being the fun-loving everybody in the house
To the nasty
Yeah.
drunk.
And I was the first one to quit the show, and that was actually because of some behind-the-scenes drama. Like, the director's boyfriend was starting drama with me, and I'm like, "You're not even a cast member. I can't fight you in front of a camera, so why are we fighting?" And then I quit.
And that was kind of a debacle, wasn't it? The
Mhm.
Dallas life?
Mhm.
Was there money involved?
I never had to pay to be part of it. That was a rumor going around that we all had to pay money to be on this show. That was never ever the case. But we were all promised money, and nobody ever saw anything. They bought me a shirt once for a photo shoot, and that's about the extent.
Yay!
Yeah, woo!
Do
I'm
you
rich.
still have it?
I do.
You
But the
didn't
button
sell it in
popped
your
off
yard
of
sale
it.
for $3.
A button popped off of it the other day, so I can't wear it anymore. And it's time to go on a diet.
That's funny. How many have you auditioned for reality shows?
I have. That was the first one I ever actually went to a sit-down audition for, but I've gone to several since. I auditioned for Big Brother and a few other things online.
How far have you ever gotten?
Never further than the first step ever, except for with the Dallas Life.
Just sending it all,
Mhm.
sending it all in, and plans to do auditions in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I've been unemployed for 6 months now, and it's really given me an opportunity to do all the things that I've wanted to do. Like, I've been an extra in several movies, music videos, and I'm trying to network there. I've met a lot of people who now let me know when the next movie is going to be filming. I filmed a movie 2 weeks ago that's going to be coming out in February called Chubby Chase Me.
Yeah. I
And
saw
they made
that.
me strip down to my boxers and dance at BJ's. That was really uncomfortable for me, but I'll do anything for camera time.
I saw that actually. I saw that actually.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. I mean, and it's not that I'm doing it for camera time, but I'm doing it for the shock value,
Mhm.
the entertainment value, the some of the production numbers that I do are pretty out there.
Hmm.
And then I go to the opposite extreme and be really pretty and
Yeah,
lovely.
get glammed up and
And so it really is just a matter of where I am, what I want to do, and what I want to accomplish.
yeah.
What reality television show would you like to be on that's on television right now?
I wish I could redefine Bad Girls Club and have it to where they'd have a gay or two in the house, or maybe Bad Gays Club and have a house full of rowdy gays, because I think that'd be a lot of fun to do. Which I thought I'd never want to do a reality show again after the Dallas Life, but I really am itching to get back onto one.
As much as we all talk about how we hate it, it is still a viable television program,
Yeah.
and one that we continue to see on television. Real World.
I'm too old for Real World.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I would have said Real World would have been my first guess, but you have to appear between the ages of 18 and 22 or 23,
You
something
have
like
to
that.
appear
Yeah,
that
you
age.
have to appear between the ages. That's their.
Maybe I should audition.
Yeah, and MTV's very much like that. I helped them cast a reality show a few months back over the summer, that they were looking for someone from Dallas, a gay couple who was willing to get married on camera, and I helped them cast for that. And all the casting people were like, "You should audition. You and your partner would be perfect for this show." Yada yada yada. And I went ahead and auditioned because they asked me to, but you have to appear between the ages of whatever. So we didn't get picked, and they ended up going with a friend of mine, and they got married, and it was all recorded for MTV, and it airs in June of this coming up year.
What do you think about this age requirement?
It's MTV. I guess that's their crowd. They're all teenagers who watch that now because it's no music. There's no real substance. It's all reality shows and pregnant mothers and.
And real, what happened to music television? It's just gone. Where do you watch videos now?
There's a station I have on my cable provider. It's called Palladia, and it's VH1 and MTV owns it, and it's just live concerts and music videos 24/7, hardly any commercials. So that's where I watch a lot of mine.
Is that online?
No, it's on channel 700 at Verizon.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's called Palladia, and it's all HD and just music videos and concerts.
Palladia. I've never even heard of it.
It's awesome.
And so let's talk about this little music video that you did.
Mm-hmm.
How did it feel to be to play a gay-hating Christian?
It was actually really a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I just channeled all the anger I had for them into my anger for the gay characters on set, and it was really easy. And I almost got a lot of the FaceTime from that because I was the one who was like, "Fuck you, faggots," because all my
really
friends
got
that were there were
into
laughing and giggling and cutting up. The director had to move them to the back, so you couldn't really see them because they weren't, they were, laughing and stuff. And I was like, I'm going to take this very seriously.
Yeah. And you got pushed right to the front, and
mud slung all over me and all of that.
how much fun was it?
It was a lot of fun. We were there all day in the sun, and it was, had it not been fun, I would have been miserable, but it ended up being a lot of fun.
I was in a movie shortly after Matthew Shepard's death, and I played a preacher who protested a gay man's funeral, and it was kind of the same thing, only I was a preacher and talking, and spewing all kinds of hate and venom, and there were people there that I knew, I could tell how much they hated what I was saying, and it ended up getting cut from the film, and I was really mad about it.
Wow. So you had to say all those horrible things for...
I was really mad about it. We had to we had to stay a certain distance away from the funeral, and we did everything kind of like by what the law would require. I left there exhausted. Because there was so much hate and venom, and I, like you, kind of did the same thing.
Yeah.
It was, I wanted to feel the same hate for them, and so I just turned that hate and turned it into a performance thing. And what was so amazing to me was how exhausted I was afterwards.
Yeah.
And so I wonder, do those people really, do they leave as exhausted as I was? And I'm sure you were too.
Oh, yeah.
Because it takes a lot of energy to be that angry and that venomous and that mad.
Yeah.
Were you exhausted?
Oh, extremely so. I mean, we were outside in the Texas heat for the whole day too, so that didn't help. But oh yeah, I slept very good that night.
And what was the video?
It was for a real popular 80s band called The Fix.
The Fix.
Their big song was One Thing Leads to Another.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're trying to, make a comeback or whatnot, so they had this music video. And, there's a bunch of different scenes. I played, I played the Westboro Baptist Church for one scene, and then I played a Occupy Wall Street protester in another scene where we got to flip over a car and take down a banker and go up against the SWAT team. That was a lot of fun.
What happened with the video?
It got posted on YouTube. I haven't really seen it on TV,
Yeah.
and I can't even remember the name of the song right now, which is... but yeah, it's the band The Fix. But the YouTube, it's on YouTube, and it's gotten
because I thought it was great.
lots of views. Yeah,
Yeah,
thought it was really cool.
it was a lot of fun. And so the other things that you've been working on, the movie?
I filmed
Chubby-
a movie.
Chubby Chase Me?
Yeah, Chubby Chase Me is what I filmed last week, and they're making a short film version of it to premiere in February, and I think they're trying to market that to distributors to make the full film version, so it can be released, to Netflix and everything else. But right now, it's just they're working on like a short film version of it to get it
And
marketed.
it is a Dallas production.
Very much Dallas, yeah.
Who's producing it? Who's directing?
Louis Partita. I don't think I'm saying his last name correctly,
I think you are.
but yeah, he's a really, really nice guy. He
Yeah.
was the director of it, and he was the one who got me loosened up and made me, just forget about my stomach and take off my shirt and go for it.
Well, and there really is a subgroup of chubby chasers and bears. And do you identify as a chubby chaser or chubby?
I don't at all. When people call me a bear, I'm like, thank you.
Yay, mama bear maybe.
And even the director, the whole time we were filming, bless his heart, he's a super nice guy, but he didn't get my name right. So all day he's like, "Where's Harry Ferry at? We need Harry Ferry on set." And I was just like, "I shaved for this, thank you." So that was funny. But I did spend like 40 minutes that morning covering up all my stretch marks with makeup and spraying on spray tan on my belly.
Harry the Fairy.
Yeah,
Harry
he just
Fairy.
kept saying, "Harry Ferry, we need
Harry.
Harry Ferry on set." And I was just like, "That's me, I guess." So hopefully that's not my name in the
Oh,
credits.
please let me be Larry the Fairy from now on. I'm not Harry
Yeah.
Fairy. That's funny.
Yeah.
I got Ricky Dicky once on set, and I cringed every time I heard that.
Yeah.
And they start calling you Ricky Dicky and Harry Fairy.
Mhm.
My name is Richard.
Yeah.
You can call me by my character name if you please,
Yeah.
but please don't call me Ricky Dicky.
Mhm.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Do you get any like Larry the Fairy type hate stuff?
No, not really. The most shocking thing with Larry the Fairy is a lot of straight people were like, "Oh, I don't want to call you that. I feel bad. It's degrading." And I'm like, "No, it's my name. It doesn't bother me." But like, I'll have friends who are on the phone. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm over here with Larry the Fairy," and then whoever they're talking to is always like, "Is it okay for
What?
you to call him that?" And I'm like, "It's my name. It's quite okay."
And so how long? It's been about a decade now that you've been
Mhm.
Larry the Fairy.
Yeah, I completely identify with it. That's my name.
So what kind of job are you looking for now that you're unemployed?
Anything right now that's flexible that'll let me, have days off to keep doing the things that I love to do. But I guess just a regular desk job, 9 to 5, something that pays good. All the offers I'm getting are like minimum wage, and I'm like, no, thank you. So I got offered as part-time maintenance at Sam's Club. I had to decline that job. I was like, thank you so much for the offer, but I'm going to pass. Hopefully the unemployment office isn't listening to this.
Sam's Club maintenance.
Mhm.
What would you be doing?
Cleaning up bathrooms.
Cleaning bathrooms.
Yeah, my dream job.
Yeah, it's mine too. Maybe we should go back and we
Yeah.
should do it together.
Exactly.
Larry the Fairy
We
and
can
Ricky
do a show in
Dicky.
the back. Cleaning the bathrooms at 12. The show starts at 1.
Really, we could just start videoing it.
Yeah.
This is how you best clean a bathroom.
We can
First,
make
you
YouTube
throw up
tutorials.
on it. Because I've got a lot of experience cleaning up throw up.
I can't do it.
Do you think that Sam's Club has a lot of throw up in their bathrooms?
Probably not, but probably other disgusting messes from the other end.
Oh,
I can't even imagine.
I
I
can't.
worked at a daycare once when I was 17, and a kid threw up all over the bus, and they sent me out there to pick it up with a plastic cup, a bucket, and some gloves to like slop it up and put it in the bucket. I slopped up one port, and then I threw up all over the bus, and they had to send someone out there to clean up both of our throw up. I was like, I can't do this. That's why I only worked at a daycare once.
One of the things about working at a bar is you're gonna run across throw up
Mhm.
a lot, really. Especially on amateur nights. Do you know what amateur nights are?
Oh yeah.
Amateur nights are, I'm going to explain it anyway. Amateur nights are nights when generally the public at large comes to the bar and the bar people don't.
Yeah. The day before a holiday.
A day before
The
a
Sunday
holiday.
before a Monday holiday.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
You'll get your diehards, but you also get all of these people who, really make plans to go out,
Mhm.
and they normally don't go out because, they work or whatever. And so on amateur night, there's generally a lot of throw up. I used to work with this guy, his name was William, who, could not deal with throw up at all. It was just, he could
Yeah,
not,
that's
he
me.
couldn't see it. Even if he walked by it, he would
Mm-hmm.
start gagging and so once, we were all kind of over it. We all have to do this, and so you're going to have to clean
Mhm.
this one up. Well, he never had to do that again, because then we had to clean up his, because,
That would be me.
The old bar rails at Village Station were, kind of the cup,
Mhm.
it was like a upside down U
Mhm.
or a U. And what we would do is we would take a rag and we would swipe everything to the end, and then it would drop all into like a garbage can.
Mm-hmm.
And we made him clean up this one that was all in the drink rail, and oh my.
That's
He
one that I've
was-
never thrown up at a bar.
I was like a hose that it was
Ugh.
awful. You know, we were all watching it laughing until he started spewing.
Mm.
And then it was over.
I've never thrown up in public. I'm proud of that.
I'm sure I have.
Even non-alcohol related. I don't think I've ever thrown up in public.
I've done a lot of things in public that I'm not really proud of.
Oh, I remember the grilled cheese bus story.
Oh, the
That
grilled cheese
story
bus
sticks
story
with me.
is
He was there
probably
too.
is probably my most humiliating moment
Yeah.
publicly. Most humiliating. You know, when you're on a crowded bus and happy hour. I mean, not happy hour, but rush hour, happy hour. Rush
It
hour.
was crappy hour.
It was happy hour.
It was
right.
crappy
It
hour.
was crappy hour. Yeah, and you know, let go in a bus, and a crowded bus, and it
God.
was horrifying. It really was, and the most horrifying thing was, you know, that I was not wearing any underwear, and
So it just had free.
it just
Free reign.
free run down my leg, and this was '80s, so I was wearing 2 layers of scrunchy socks. Thank God, and they were pink and white because I was also wearing a layered hoodie thing. This is '80s, and I was wearing a white hoodie with a pink hoodie underneath it, so I had double layer of white and pink hoodie and culottes. Those are girl shorts, and everything ran into my scrunchy socks.
Oh, those poor
And it was
socks.
just disgusting. It was disgusting. And in the middle of rush hour, I had 3 feet
They were
clearance
like-
all the way around me. You know, everybody was like huddled up against each other, looking at me, and this was Los Angeles, so everybody was speaking Spanish, and I was just humiliated. And then made the big error. Instead of getting off on my stop, I got off on the stop before my stop. So I had to walk.
Oh,
I had to walk even longer with poopy all over me.
That's awful.
It was awful. And then at the corner of Hollywood Boulevard and North Whitley, there was a man that stopped me as I was poopy covered and asked me if I knew who Jesus Christ was.
I'd have been like,
I went off on him.
he would have gotten some of that rubbed on him.
I really went off on him. I have no idea what I said, but I didn't stop for a good 2 minutes, and then slung my 80s Flock of Seagulls hairdo and
And squished your way back on.
I remember I had to throw away those shoes and
Oh.
everything. It was just. It is really clearly the most humiliating moment
Oh,
of
I
my
bet.
life. And yours?
I can't think.
Oh, come on. I've got like 5 that come to mind for me.
I would say the most humiliating, just off the top of my head, was my first day of school in the 6th grade. That's how far back I think it was. I didn't have any friends. I just moved to Allen, and I went to go sit down in the cafeteria. They have the little benches that fold out, and they have these little bitty circular seats. And I went to go sit down on one and missed and fell backwards and spilt all my food on me. And everyone in the cafeteria was staring at me. And that was my first day of school. That's probably, just off the top of my head, the most humiliating thing.
I was in about the 7th or 8th grade, and we had this little stairwell that went up to like the back area of school, and there was like a loading dock below it, so it was like a really far drop, and a group of us were just talking there on the end, blah blah blah, talking, and so I sat down on the railing. And then I went back and completely fell off the railing and dropped
Oh my
all the way
God.
to the loading dock.
Were you okay?
And when I looked up, everybody was just like da 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 da, and then I heard, "Where's Richard?"
You're like,
They didn't even know that I'd fallen off.
Oh my gosh, that's
they had
awful.
no idea I was, and got up, was completely unscathed, hurt nothing, broke nothing.
You're so lucky.
How great it is to be a child.
Limber.
Because I'm sure if I fell now, a good 15 feet to cement, I would probably break every bone in my body and a hip. Are you experiencing any of that? I'm getting older.
Very much so. Just for example, Sunday night I went out clubbing, and I was just looking around, and I'm like, granted it was the amateur night, Sunday night. Everybody was, and their mama was there, but I was just looking around, and I was just like, oh gosh, I guess I'm getting too old for this.
I'm feeling old.
Yeah, but I still don't get hungover. I'm blessed. I've never really been hungover in my life.
And you're a big drinker, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
What do you drink?
Just vodka. Vodka water is what I drink. Just whale vodka and water with
Vodka
a squeeze
water?
of lime. Keeps you hydrated and gets you messed up. I guess that's why I don't get hungover.
Vodka water. And so what's going on at the House of Blues?
Right now I don't have any events on the books because my last one turned out to be a pretty epic fail. I was hosting brunch there, like a brunch after party. It started at 2. And, we had some drag queens come and perform. And, the first one, about 40 people showed up. They wanted like 50 or more. So, they were like, well, we'll try it again next month. And then I hosted the Pride kickoff party there the Friday before Pride. And over 200 people showed up. It was a huge success. And then a month ago, I hosted my second brunch, and 7 people showed up.
Oh.
They had to pull the plug before the girls could even perform. And it was really embarrassing. That was actually probably my most recent humiliating day.
And those are going to happen,
Yeah, but it never happened to me. I was just like, oh.
You've got to, sometimes things work and sometimes things don't.
Yeah.
And sometimes the things that you think that are never going to work are the ones that do.
Yeah.
And the ones that you invest in, this is going to be so easy, fail. And there's really, sometimes there's no reason, sometimes there's no rhyme, sometimes, you just can't understand it, and the best thing is to just, be a Leah.
Yeah.
Dust yourself off and try again.
Exactly. But I have a great relationship with the GM there. He's an awesome guy. His name's Tim, and he's awesome. So, he says he's not done using me. So we'll see what's in store with me there in the future. I still help promote concerts, whenever they, need to get some word out in the street. They send me out with tickets and that kind of thing.
I love the House of Blues.
I do too.
I think it's a great venue.
It's my favorite indoor venue in Dallas.
Yeah, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to the Palladium?
I have. That one's my second favorite indoor venue.
I like the Palladium, but I don't like that it's just like crash.
Yeah.
It's just this one big room
Mm-hmm.
where House of Blues feels a little layered.
Yeah, it is layered.
It is
definitely.
layered.
They have the seats upstairs, and then the downstairs. They have the main area, and then where the sound booth is, and it's raised behind there, and they have cocktail tables set up at the back where you can have a waitress and watch the concert at the same time, which I love.
I saw Cyndi Lauper there, and I thought it was a great venue for her.
Mm-hmm.
I also saw Heart there.
Okay.
And a plethora of other things. And Miss Gay USA was there this year.
Yeah, I heard that.
I did not see it, but I heard good things about it.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to be more gay friendly for sure. They've always been gay friendly. I waited tables there years ago. They just accept everybody because their company is based on those values. Now they're owned by Live Nation, but Live Nation has still let them keep their core values and everything, which is what I love about the venue the most because they're just so accepting of everyone. That's why they wanted to start having more gay events there. That's why I'm kind of there.
So, if you could host any event, what would it be?
The most awkward thing about me is I'm such a talkative, outgoing person, and then I get on the microphone, and it's, hi guys, my name's Larry. I'm the host. So I think that might be my biggest thing I need to work on is being better at hosting events. But if I could just throw everything together and then just stand back and watch it, go, I think I would enjoy that much more than having to get on the microphone and thank everyone for coming out and that kind of thing. I'm so awkward. In my mind, I'm so hysterical, and when I get on the microphone, I'm great. And then I go back and watch the video, and I'm like, I can't even understand what I'm saying. I'm mumbling the whole time.
So, what do you think that is? What do you think is holding
Nerves.
you back about microphone use?
Nerves. Right now, I'm totally normal and fine, but you get me on a microphone in front of 50 people or more, and I'm like, oh, awkward.
Do you have things that are planned to say, that you plan to say?
No, because every time I have something planned to say, I get up there and screw it all up. So every time I host anything, I host open mic night at House of Blues every now and then when they have a big event, and they need someone there to host it because usually there's no host. And for that, I just get up there and just go with the flow, and I'm usually pretty good at that. But anytime I try to plan anything to say, it comes out completely wrong. For example, one time they had an employee there who had been murdered that week, and so they were, had a donation jar to raise money for his family, that kind of thing. And I had this whole thing planned. Tonight we're celebrating the life of so and so. We're here to raise money. He was murdered a few weeks ago, or recently. And I got on the microphone and I was like, tonight we're here for so and so. They were killed. Here's a tip jar. And I just walked off, and everyone was like, what the hell? And I'm like, I don't know.
Oh my God!
I just got up there and word diarrhea just came out.
And and sometimes I'm going to give you some pointers.
I need 'em.
Sometimes you have to fail to make it good.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do, if you acknowledge the fact that you have failed, sometimes it kind of erases everything that you've done, so you can start over.
Yeah.
Because you can be like, "Wow, I am such an idiot."
And I definitely was.
Wow, and you can really just basically say, "This is so uncomfortable for me,
Mm-hmm.
because this is horrible. But we're here to do a really good thing." And so there's a way that you can, and sometimes when you're dying, the best thing to do is to die
Mm-hmm.
and to leave, because if you continue to die, you just kind of dig yourself a deeper
Yeah.
grave. However, if you acknowledge the death, sometimes it gives you a little leeway to try to start over
Mhm.
and kind of go, well, now that I have epically failed,
Yeah.
let's try this again. And so it kind of not only puts you at ease, but it will put the audience at ease. Because you're gonna have to use the microphone.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that I teach the girls, not only in the Rose Room, but the Edna's Angels and the girls coming up is
Yeah.
she's going to be your friend.
Mhm.
And so, don't turn her into an enemy, and certainly don't fear her, because really, she's going to be your friend.
The most uncomfortable thing for me, though, is I'll be like, all right, who's all drinking tonight?
Crickets. So none of you were drinking?
Yeah, so then I'm like, all right, well, who's all having a good time tonight?
Crickets.
All right, so give a round of applause for, so-and-so.
But see, you've allowed them to win.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, you have the microphone.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't get about hecklers. It's really what I don't
Yeah.
get about hecklers.
It's like, okay, you get up here and do it.
Well, and not only that, I've got the microphone.
Exactly.
I can say anything I want to you, and
Mhm.
everybody's going to hear me. And the only people that are going to hear you are the people that are
Mhm,
around
the 5
you.
people
Because
around.
you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
You're an idiot. Because nobody cares about you.
Yeah.
And they may not care about me, but I've got the microphone.
Mhm.
They're going to be forced to hear me. So that's one thing I've never understood about hecklers.
Yeah.
And hecklers generally are the people that want to be on stage
Mhm.
and think that they can be.
Yeah.
And and you never give a heckler the microphone,
Mm-mm.
because you've just given away your power if you do.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Halloween.
Okay. My favorite day of the whole year.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Better than my
it
birthday,
is
better
mine
than
too.
Christmas.
It's
The
mine
block
too.
party in the neighborhood is my favorite day of the entire year.
It's mine too. I was really, really disappointed because I knew you were coming out,
Mhm.
and I wanted you to walk it out. And
I got in line right as you wrapped up. Like, I was literally like 10 people back when you're like, thank you for coming
Really?
out, so-and-so. And I was like, damn it.
At some point, I have to stop because
Yeah,
of the
oh, yeah.
noise thing.
Mhm.
And I started really early this year.
Mhm.
And every year, I start about 5 to 10 minutes earlier than I'm supposed to.
Mhm.
I hope no one's listening to this. Not really. I mean, I can really start at 9 o'clock if I
Yeah.
want to, but 9 o'clock is a little early. 9:30 is generally when I start, and we like to wrap it up at 11 because the noise ordinance,
Mhm.
comes into effect at midnight. And so, I've got a little leeway. This year I started about 9:35 and I ended at 11:15.
Mhm.
And I went a little long, but the thing that I was most disappointed about this year is there were so many people with tired costumes. I think it was one of the worst years
Yeah.
of tired costumes.
Mhm. I agree with that.
And
There were so many store-bought costumes there this year, and I'm just like,
and not only store bought,
but old.
and people would come up and they'd be like, I'm a biker.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, thanks for wearing your leather jacket.
Yeah.
Because that's it.
Yeah.
And you're a biker,
Mhm.
and now you want to walk it out.
Or
When
what are
I
you?
say-
Oh, I'm a drag queen.
You know, and you're I'm fierce.
Mm-hmm. You're like, no, you're not.
Oh, okay. Well, you can be fierce every day of the week
Mm-hmm.
here at the gay bars. I
Mhm.
mean, in Halloween, I really think you should pull out all the stops, and I think you did.
Thank you. This
You
was
ca-
my best year as far as response goes of the crowd.
You came out as Honey Boo Boo Child,
Oh, yes. I had my pig and my bottle of go-go juice and everything.
and her name is Alana
Alana Thompson.
Thompson.
Mhm.
Are you a fan of the show?
Oh, yeah. Huge fan.
Are you what? Why?
Because it's not your typical reality show. It's not Jersey Shore. It's not people fighting the whole time. It's a family that you can tell loves each other, and there's never any drama. I mean, there's no drama on the show. The most dramatic thing they had was her pet pig got sent back to the breeder because they couldn't keep it anymore. I mean, it's just a funny show where the mom farts and burps, and they all eat butter and ketchup, and it's just a carefree show. You don't have to sit there and get all your nerves worked up because you're watching two people fight the whole time.
Yeah.
Or coming up on the next episode, this one's going to fight this one.
Yeah.
It's just very simple and
Pauly D is gonna break his skull.
yeah, exactly.
It's just so ignorant.
It really is.
It really is. So
But I mean, I
ignorant.
just love that little family to death. Like, there's one episode where she says, "There ain't nothing wrong with being a little gay. Everybody's a little gay,"
Okay.
and that's my ringtone right now.
Yeah. I've seen it. I just, when I watch it, my mouth drops open because I think, wow, I mean, these people are so country.
Yeah,
And I'm being
and I
nice.
have family like that.
And
So to me, it's like watching home videos.
I'm really being nice.
Yeah, no, I know.
The mother really does fart and burp,
Mm-hmm.
and now we all fart and burp, and I'm not mad at her really, but wow.
You have a camera on you. The
Wow.
intro to the show is her
Dude,
farting.
And yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And she will start talking and just she just starts burping.
And sneezing.
And
She
does-
has a weird sneezing
Does
problem.
she have absolutely no idea how fat she is?
They call her the giant thumb because she just kind of looks like a giant thumb. She's got no shape to her body and no neck, no anything. It's just she kind of looks like a big thumb.
She really kind of does. So why Honey Boo Boo?
I don't know. Every year I try to, pick something that I don't think a lot of people are going to do. And this year, Honey Boo Boo was still kind of new. A lot of people knew about her. A lot of people didn't. So I was surprised to see as many Honey Boo Boos as I did. There was probably 5 or 6, but I think mine was best or at least second best. There was another guy's there who was really, really good. But the most people just threw on some generic silver dress and put on a sash that said Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Every year I try to really pick, what is no one else going to be doing. That's what I want to do.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I was going to do Honey Boo Boo,
Oh, really?
but I thought that there were going to be so many that originally, September, October, when I start really gearing up to
Mhm.
thinking about what I'm going to do, because hosting that event is what I look forward to
Yeah.
every year. It really is the perk of my job,
Mhm.
and it is my. I look forward to it every year. I love
Yeah.
it. And this year, I decided to do shopping, and we performed it on the street with the Gold Diggers.
Yeah, I
and,
saw the
and,
pictures.
And really, this year was one of my favorite times of walking,
Mm-hmm.
of walking the parade. But it was one of my least favorite for the people who came out.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, I did walk around and I saw a lot of costumes that didn't get into the parade, and I was really disappointed about it. And that was another one of my points: is all these people got into the parade that really had no business
Yeah,
being proud of
'Cause
what they
at
were
Peaks,
wearing.
it takes you about 40 minutes to get into the
Yes.
little parade thing. So that's why, that was my problem. We got there, we got our drinks, got situated, met all of our friends behind S4, and then went and got in the line. And by the time we got up there, if it was us, to be going, it was wrapping up. And I was like, no.
And I bet I saw probably 100 people,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
at least, and probably and maybe even more than that in the hour and a half. And and I tried to keep them going as quickly as I possibly could. One of the things that was really, really sweet this year was there was a family of cupcakes. Did you see them?
No, I didn't.
There was a family of they called them ballerina cupcakes. And it was a teenage girl, a mother, a father, and about an 11-year-old boy.
Oh, wow.
And they were all wearing tutus and a T-shirt that kind of matched the tutu,
Mhm.
and then it had what kind of cupcake they were, written on their shirt, homemade. and then this big pile of like marabou feather
That's
on
awesome.
their head.
Mhm.
And I knew it was the 11-year-old boy's idea.
That's awesome.
And he was just so proud. And me and the mother kept on making this eye contact because she knew, those parents knew that that little boy was not only going to be working in our environment, but he was going to be playing in our environment. They knew that, this
Yeah.
11-year-old boy. It was so adorable. And then the family really, he came up with this whole concept, and they went with it and supported it. And I almost cried that it was so sweet.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find a tear in my ice water veins.
You looked for it, but at least you looked for it.
I did.
You
I
tried.
looked for it. So Honey Boo Boo, I decided not to do it because I thought there were going to be a lot of Honey Boo Boos. I got interviewed for one of the magazines, and they asked me what I thought was going to be popular this year, and Honey Boo Boo was one of them because I think it's very iconic. But I do think that you pulled it off. I saw a real girl do it with a real pig,
Oh, really?
and
You can't really beat that.
and she had the mother.
Oh, you see,
Did you see the girl? With
a lot
the
of people
mother?
are like, "I'll be your mom." I'm like, "You're too skinny. Let's switch. I'll be the mom."
Now, did you see the real
No.
girl with the mother?
Mm-mm.
The mother was a man, and probably weighed 600 pounds. It was
Oh,
really
no.
god awful. It was so damn funny.
I'm sad I didn't see that.
It was.
I would've
really,
loved to get
really
a picture
funny.
with them.
So I think singularly, I think you were the best Honey Boo Boo, and then I saw
We started
a
in
lot
August
of
sewing my
groups
costume.
where people would walk around with their bellies hanging out. Oh, just. I'm really kind of horrified by the whole Honey Boo Boo thing. However, I'm not watching it, but I don't watch much TV.
Yeah.
But when it's on, I will watch it, and I just sit there and shake. What is your favorite thing about it?
I just love how they've stayed true to themselves. Even now that they're getting $20,000+ an episode, as opposed to the 5 or 7 they were getting at the beginning. The moms vowed to not make it change their lives. She's putting the money in the kids' college funds. She's only adding on 2 more bedrooms and a bathroom to her house. They're not going to go buy this big lavish house, and she really is working hard for the community. They have a new anti-bullying campaign that they're really working hard to keep gay teens and all people from being bullied and from committing suicide. And this year they're taking all the gifts that are sent to Alana and putting them in a Christmas fund for all the kids in their town. So I just love that they're not
That's
letting
really
it go to their
sweet.
head like a Kardashian, or you know what I mean? There's not going to be 50 spin-off shows, and they're not going to have their own fragrance line out next month. I mean, unless it's bacon grease or something, I don't know. But I mean, you know what I mean? That's why I love them, because they're not your typical stupid reality show family. They're
Can
different.
you imagine a bacon grease
Some pig's fat.
perfume?
It's like a bottle of a pig.
Well, I heard that there was going to be a Honey Boo Boo energy drink.
Oh, Jesus.
But I have no idea if that's true or not. And I do think that there is plenty of room for a whole line of stuff from them, just because it's just so it
Such a
really
phenomenon.
is so country.
Mhm.
And do you know what's in the do you know what's in the Go-Go juice?
Oh, yeah. It's half Mountain Dew, half Red Bull.
And the girl is how old? 7?
She just turned 7, yeah.
And so what I was going to do was the little, the Daisy Duke. She was wearing her Daisy Dukes, and I do watch Toddlers and Tiaras when it's on. I'm always just horrified by it.
I've never seen an episode of that.
I don't understand why every one of the Toddlers and Tiaras mothers are so big.
Because they're living vicariously through their daughters.
But they're all these huge fat women. Do
and
they know that
they're
they're
not
fat?
pretty enough to do it, so that's why they send out their daughters to live through them. That's my personal take on it. No offense to anyone who is a pageant mom who's, takes care of themselves.
Do you have a favorite Honey Boo Boo child quote?
I'm probably ain't nothing wrong with being a little gay. Everybody's a little gay. Because it's the truth. Even straight people will tell you. Even straight men will be like, yeah, he's handsome. He's attractive.
Handsome.
And women will be
Wow.
like, gosh, I'd go gay for her.
I had a friend who was my best friend, who's dead now, but he was the most beautiful boy in the world, and straight guys would be like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that kind of, wow,
Yeah.
he's gorgeous. Larry the Fairy, thank you for coming
Absolutely.
on down
It's always a pleasure. Funky
to the
town.
radio show. We want to thank you for tuning in. Larry the Fairy, you can find him on Facebook, Larry the Fairy. You can follow him on Twitter,
Larry the Fairy TX.
Larry the Fairy TX on Twitter. You've been listening to RationalBroadcasting.com. Just keep breathing. We're here every Tuesday, every Friday from 3 to 4. Once again, thank you for coming down.
Absolutely.
Have a great day and happy Thanksgiving. Bye.
Yay.